Most people think Cleopatra was a ruler of ancient Egypt, but the story is a bit more complex to tell you more. Let's start with where she was born. Yep, you guessed it right. It's Alexandria. This was a city founded by none other than Alexander the Great himself. You know, the guy who conquered a whole bunch of land. Yep. Anyway, despite being born in Egypt, Cleopatra wasn't Egyptian. No. Her family, the Ptolemies, were Greek and had taken over Egypt after Alexander's death. You see, Alexander had spread Greek culture everywhere he went. So when his empire crumbled and his generals split up his land, Egypt ended up with Greek rulers while the native Egyptians became subjects of their own land. Yeah. It's complicated, but don't worry, it gets crazier. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so if she was an Egyptian, then why is she always in those pharaoh hats and headdresses? Well, that's partly because of a famous relationship. You know, the one with Julius Caesar and the other with Mark Antony. Both of these guys were Roman, and Rome was kind of obsessed with Egypt at the time. They thought it was like the center of the universe or something. Anyway, Cleopatra wanted to play up this whole Egyptian queen vibe to make herself look powerful and mysterious. And it worked. Especially with Caesar and Antony, they both fell head over heels for her. But hold on, because there's another big twist coming. When Cleopatra lived, the pyramids were already super old, like seriously ancient. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the biggest and most famous one, was built around 2560 BC, and Cleopatra was born in 69 BC. That means that during her time, the pyramids were as ancient as the Colosseum is to us now. Yep, you heard that right. The pyramids were like old news by Cleopatra's time. Now, here's where it gets totally mind-blowing. The first iPhone came out in 2007 AD, and guess what? That's closer in time to Cleopatra's era than the pyramids are. Yep. If you do the math, it's about 2,500 years from the pyramids to Cleopatra's time. And around 2,000 years from Cleopatra to the iPhone. So, Cleopatra actually lived closer in time to the iPhone than to the building of the pyramids. If you asked her to name the most iconic landmark in Egypt, she'd probably say the Great Library of Alexandria, which was a big deal in her time. It was like the ultimate knowledge center. You might be wondering, well, if the pyramids were so old, why didn't they fall apart? Well, they were built with millions of huge limestone and granite blocks, some weighing over 2 tons, and cut so precisely that many still fit together tightly today. Plus, people kept them maintained over the centuries, patching things up, cleaning them, and making sure they didn't completely crumble. So why are we so obsessed with the pyramids? Well, it's because they're super mysterious. For many years, all we knew about them was what people had written down. And since most people back then weren't writing full books, we didn't have much to go on. Also, there aren't many pictures of the pyramids from that time, so we've been piecing together what they looked like and how they were built. The mystery makes them seem really cool and powerful, like they're hiding secrets from a long time ago. We often think of ancient Egypt as this one big thing, but that's not really true. Ancient Egypt lasted for over 3,000 years, longer than all of recorded human history since then. That's like saying ancient Greece was the same from the time of Zeus to the time of Alexander the Great, or that medieval Europe was the same from the fall of Rome to the Renaissance. It just doesn't make sense. They invented papyrus, an early form of paper, and contributed many advances in science, math, and architecture. But by Cleopatra's time, the pyramids were just ancient monuments, no longer part of everyday life. So the next time you hear someone talking about Cleopatra and the pyramids in the same breath, remember, she's closer to your iPhone than to those ancient tombs. Did you know Cleopatra lived closer to the iPhone than to the pyramids? History isn't as far away as we think. Like, comment, and subscribe for more surprising truths.